Let's talk about Sean Combs, P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, the mogul with a million names, now with a federal conviction. On July 3, 2025, a Manhattan jury found him guilty of 2 federal prostitution-related charges. The man who said he can't stop, won't stop has been stopped by the U.S. government. This wasn't a slap on the wrist, it was a verdict that sent shockwaves from Hollywood to Harlem. The king of bad boy entertainment, now a convicted felon, denied bail. That's how seriously the court took this, one of the richest men in entertainment locked up. The charges were part of a much larger indictment: sex trafficking, racketeering, the stuff of mob movies, not music moguls. But in the end, it was the prostitution charges that stuck. For decades, Diddy was more than a musician. He was a brand, the embodiment of the American dream, hip-hop style. He built empires through legendary parties and defined cool for generations. But this case pulled back the curtain on that glamorous facade. The verdict didn't just convict a man, it shattered an image. It forced a cultural reckoning with one of its most celebrated icons. The party for Sean Combs is officially over. Now everyone's left wondering what other secrets were hiding in plain sight. The man who sold us a lifestyle of aspirational wealth now faces the very real prospect of prison time. The shock isn't just about the conviction, it's about the dissonance. How could the man who gave us Biggie, who built schools and donated to charities, be involved in something so sordid? The answer: the empire had a dark underbelly, and the cleanup is just beginning. The prosecution painted Diddy as a powerful man who used fame as a weapon. They brought evidence, accusers' testimony, financial records, communications, showing a pattern of exploitation. Their narrative: these weren't just parties, but orchestrated events for illegal activities. Star witnesses described a world where access to Diddy meant vulnerability. The defense countered: Diddy was a hard-working businessman, targeted by opportunists. They attacked witness credibility, called the accusations a shakedown, and argued celebrity life is just different, wilder, blurrier. Their plea: don't let a group of liars tear down a legend. But the prosecution's story was powerful, disturbing, and hard to ignore. In the end, the jury had to choose between 2 starkly different versions of the man, and they made their call. Why the split verdict? It's all about the burden of proof. The jury convicted Diddy on prostitution charges where evidence was direct testimony, payments, benefits, but for sex trafficking, prosecutors needed to prove force fraud or coercion, a much higher bar. The defense argued these women were willing participants, not victims. For racketeering, prosecutors had to show a criminal enterprise, a complex, ongoing operation. The defense broke the chain, arguing incidents were isolated, not organized. The jury saw wrongdoing, but not enough for the most serious charges. They drew a line: guilty of something serious, but not the worst. It was a nuanced verdict, acknowledging both the crime and the complexity. Diddy crossed a boundary but wasn't labeled a mob boss. 2 days after the verdict, Diddy went to YouTube. He dropped a podcast, looking humbled, speaking to his followers. No direct apology, just talk of mistakes, pressure, and losing his way. He framed it as a personal failing, not a crime. It was a classic celebrity move: reframe the narrative, start a redemption arc. He asked fans to see him as a flawed hero, not a felon. This highlights our culture's double standard. Regular people get cancelled, celebrities get comebacks. We separate art from artist, brand from man. Diddy is counting on cultural amnesia, hoping we remember the music, not the trial. His YouTube confession was a calculated move to win back public opinion. If he can salvage his legacy, he wins, even if his record stays stained. It's a cynical game, but one celebrities have played and won before. Beyond the headlines, this is a cautionary tale, especially for young women. The allure of fame, VIP access, and power can be a trap. Chasing status over substance can put you in danger. We glorify celebrities, rarely questioning who they really are. This case reminds us, fame and wealth don't equal good character. Sometimes power corrupts and terrible things happen behind closed doors. It's not just about Diddy. It's about a culture that values proximity to fame over safety and dignity. Teach the next generation to seek substance, not just status. Real power is building your own life, not riding in someone else's shadow. Choose your heroes wisely and be the hero of your own story.